I'm here with my honorable colleague, Honorable Henry Makumbi, Member of Parliament representing the people of Mityana County South constituency in the Mityana district. We have called you to brief you on what happened last evening. By the time we presented our motion on the floor of Parliament, quite a number of you had left the building. Yesterday, we had an opportunity to get leave of Parliament to introduce a private member's bill entitled the Land Amendment Bill. The motion was presented. I myself, I am the one who moved the motion, and my colleague here seconded it. The background of it is as a result of Article 32A. Article 32A of the Land Act. It says that a bona fide occupant or a lawful tenant on land can only be evicted from his chibanja on non-payment of the ground rent, commonly known as bussulu. And this is what is in the law. But what is happening is that evictions are going on every now and then, especially in the central part of the country. As you are aware that we represent the people of Mityana, the people of Mubende, Kasanda, which is in central Uganda. This is quite a very big problem in our respective constituencies. Evictions are going on every now and then. I myself, who is talking to you, by the time I took over as the area MP of Kasanda South constituency in May 2016, people had been evicted from 17 villages. 17 villages, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 17 villages in Kasanda South constituency. That is between 2001 and up to 2015. I have some of these villages. I can read them for you for recording purposes. The constituency I represent has got 4 sub-counties. We have Nautuntu sub-county, Chiganda sub-county, Manyogaseka sub-county, and Mianzi sub-county. That is Kasanda South constituency. In Nautuntu sub-county, people had been evicted from the villages of Bukompe, Chika A, Chika B, Chikungube, Kabagala, Rwamasanga, and Bukoba. That is one sub-county, 7 villages. In Chiganda sub-county, people were evicted from the villages of Rwamagembe, Chinoni, Kasawo Kamuwanga, Kasawo Mukadde, Bulyankuyege, Chibululu, Kasawo West. And then in Manyogaseka sub-county, people were evicted in Rutunku, Rwenyange, Chabayima, Kabakonjo, and Mabali villages. If I take you around right today, right now as we are talking, you will see that these are abandoned villages, but they are indicators that at one time people had settled here. So when I came here, the people of Kasanda were very, very clear. And this is the agreement I made with them. Please go to Parliament and ensure that we are not evicted. Locally, they say, Genam Parliament, otukumire kubibanja byafe. And that's what I've been handling ever since I came here with other businesses. For example, in the last 2.5 years, I have managed to cause cancellation of 4 land titles in my constituency, which were issued fraudulently. And I'm very grateful to the Minister of Lands and the technical people in our ministry, because they have helped me to do this. But that one has not solved the problem. The problem is everywhere, especially in the central region. Evictions are going on and on and on and on. So me and my colleague and other colleagues, as you are going to see, we sat down and we said, where's the problem? So we found out that the major problem, landlords have been evicting people, saying that they are not paying ground rent. They are not paying bussulu. But when you reach out to the masses, the Vivanja owners, they said, no, the landlords have refused the money. When you take the money to them, they say, we don't want. and at the end of it, they end up being evicted. So we looked at the law with the help of our legal department here in Parliament, and we found out that within the law, there is a gap within the Land Act, that in case the landlord refuses ground rate, me as a tenant, as a chibanja owner, where should I go? In the current law, there is no provision for that. What was catered for, that in case there is a misunderstanding between the landlord and the tenant, you go to the land tribunals. By land tribunals, we are suspended as per the legal practice direction number 1 of 2006, issued by the Chief Justice. As we are talking now, there are no land tribunals in this country. So the tenants were left there at the mercy of the landlords. That's why they are suffering even up to today. So we said, no, as lawmakers in this country, as the leaders of the people, we can't allow this one to go on. We came up with an amendment to provide that in case the landlord refuses the money, or in case the tenant cannot trace the landlord, or in case of the absentee landlords, ladies and gentlemen, in our area there, Mityana, Mubende, Chibale, Kagadi, absentee landlords are common there. You are someone who's land, but you don't know where this person is. He's an absentee. So we are providing a provision that let us take the money to the nearest magistrate court. And in this case, the nearest magistrate court is the magistrate grade 1 or magistrate grade 2. You know, magistrate grade 2 are at sub-counties. So that is the amendment we are coming up with. We have even designed a form that when you reach at the magistrate court, they give you this form. You fill the form in triplicate. 1 copy is for you, the tenant. Another copy is for the landlord. Another copy will remain in the court for recording purposes. So the court directs you where to pay the money. Either you go and pay the money in the bank, depending on how the court will direct us on what to do. And then you bring the payslip to what? To court. But you will go with a copy of your form with a reference to prove that you paid the money. So when the landlord comes at his or her own will, he goes and picks this money from court. Want this one to be a must, he goes and picks the money from court or from the bank. The court will direct. So after presenting this motion yesterday on the floor of Parliament, and we are very grateful for the Deputy Speaker for having given us this opportunity so that we can air out our views. And after being seconded by my colleague here, the Minister for Lands, Housing and Urban Development, Honorable Betty Amongi, came up on the floor. She supported the idea. So it is a very good idea. And as a ministry, they are working out something. We don't know why they have delayed, but that is their business. And she requested the Speaker to allow us, herself and their ministry, and we, the movers of the motion, to go and harmonize our position. Because for us, it's talking of sub-county, that the money should be taken to the sub-county. For us, we are saying the money should be taken to the court. But our position is backed up by the legal advice of our legal team here at Parliament. You know, we have got some of the legal technical people, the best this country has ever had. They are here on this building. So they looked at through all the legal provisions and said the best is to take the money to court. So the Speaker gave us 45 days from yesterday. 45 days for us as the movers of the motion and the Minister of Lands, Housing and Urban Development to come up with a common position as far as this issue is concerned. Even the ministry and even the President, by the way, and they have to be very grateful to His Excellency the President, John Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, on this matter. Because I think a few months ago, when was he in Iwabinyira?
It was in November.
November, he was in our place there on this issue of land, and he launched Bibanja Association. So as a head of state, he did his part to help the people to launch Bibanja Association. But on our side, as lawmakers, we're also doing our part now. The Bibanja Association, which the President launched in Iwabinyira, by the way, in his constituency, let us back it by law. Should have a legal backing. That as we are forming Bibanja Association, the members of this association should be in a position to pay ground rent to the court.
As far as we are concerned, we decided to come up with this motion, and myself, together with many members of Parliament that were there, were in serious support of this motion, because we came to Parliament to protect our people, to talk on behalf of our people, especially the most vulnerable, and those are the common people, the tenants, the vivanja holders, as far as this land bill amendment is concerned. Myself, I come from Mityana South, not far from Kasanda, as he has told you, but similar instances have happened. Evictions have happened. Well, not as so intense as it is in Kasanda and other places around. But I have also areas where evictions have taken place, like in Chitete, Namungo sub-county, and others are pending, but anytime they can evict people, because they are doing it with impunity. And even the magistrates themselves, the way they award orders of evictions is another outrageous action, basing on that argument that the moment you fail to pay the landlord, the bussulu in our local language, then you are supposed, the law allows the landlord to evict you. Someone, or the magistrate orders and gives awards an order today, and tomorrow people are evicted. That is what is happening. In Impirigwa, for example, as I'm speaking right now, which is in Namungo South County, a full village is on the verge of being evicted. A landlord is threatening village citizens there that in the case you fail to deduct about 3/4 of your chibanja, then you will be evicted. These are people who have been there for over 100 years, but the guy has come and is threatening to evict a whole village. Another village is also on the verge of being evicted in Busunju town council, called Chiduzi. There is a gentleman there, he's a retired army officer. He was also threatening to evict people, basing on that element of, basing on that that advantage, that in a case, because he hides here and there, people look for them, they don't appear, because they don't want them to pay that bussulu, which was agreed upon in the law. Now, to me and many other people you will see, we are not here for our own personal benefit. We are here to represent those people. We are supposed to fight for them. You, the press, as you know, these evictions have swept the whole country, and they are even threatening our political stability. As you can understand, and my colleague has alluded to that one, that His Excellency the President came and supported this crusade to save our people in Wabinyira recently, and I was there. I received him, and we carried, and I was part of that rally where he launched this Bibanja Association as a struggle to protect the common man. Already, he even contributed a double cabin pickup to the chairperson called Mr. Ruwalira in Chikandwa, who is there to lead the crusade, and the crusade across the country. So what we are fighting for is a popular move, and I'm sure our people will be happy with it, because this time they will settle on their vivanja. These evictions have even affected the economy. People are no longer producing, especially in the central region, because they are not sure of tomorrow. They are not sure of tomorrow. Evictions are here and there. So this is what I have to tell the public. Let the public rally behind us. Let the honorable members of Parliament of this August House of the 10th Parliament support this motion, this amendment, because this is what our people sent us for in this Parliament. Precisely, that's what I can say, because the substance of the motion has already been highlighted by my colleague, the move of the motion.
And in addition to that, I want to make a humble appeal, members, to the judicial officers of this country. Let me use the word judicial officers, or you can call them officers of court. Because when you critically analyze all of these evictions in this country, they start and end in court buildings, where most of people have suffered a lot. The evictions originate from court. But if you start analyzing, you say number of defects. The case of Lusanje is a clear example. You saw that you see that eviction was defective in nature. The judicial officer didn't follow the right procedure before you could issue that eviction. So that's why in our motion and the private members bill we are coming up with, we want these people, the tenants, the poor Bibanja holders in this country, to pay the money in court. Are we together? Or the court to direct them where to pay the money. So that in case the eviction originates from court, then you will ask the court that please tell us, how do you issue this eviction order when the tenants are paying money in the court, or when the court is the one directing them where to pay the money? So that is an area where we differ with the ministry, and when we reach a position, when we reach a compromised position, this one will be very, very clear, and we hope it will come out that paying at sub-county headquarters, as the ministry is suggesting, that one will not really pass. The secure avenue is courts of what? Courts of law. Close out.
Well, there's something I wanted to add on that one, because since yesterday, we were excited about this step. Like, for example, the chairman of Mityana district, his council, Joseph Ruzige, this morning sent me a text when he was also giving his view about it. First of all, he appreciated our step, our effort to save our people. But he was also giving a view that, well, if we deposit the money in court, court seems to be the last resort in terms of adjudication of disputes, that one would still look a bit unconstitutional, what. But this, what we presented, as he has told you, was also analyzed by legal brains. So this is what we have to see whether we can have a compromise position. If we agree that actually the money can be deposited on sub-counties and it is secure, that the courts, in case there is a problem with that money, still we shall run to court as the last resort to adjudicate, then that one we shall agree. Actually, that's not the issue. But the issue is that let the tenants have somewhere to deposit, to pay the money, so that they remain secure on their tenancy.